The chess match began instantly. Quick passes from LeBron were keeping Boston off balance, while the Lakers' defensive strategy focused on switching and swarming Jaylen Brown's off-ball actions. It was working until the cracks appeared. An early lapse showed when Vanderbilt's poor preparation on the baseline inbound led to Boston's first score. Jaylen Brown's jumper found nothing but net. The battle lines were drawn. While the Celtics targeted Luka on one end, the Lakers went hunting for Horford on the other. Austin Reeves had no reservations about committing what can only be described as elder abuse in 4K, knocking down shots with confidence. The Lakers started red hot, hitting 4 of their first 7 from beyond the arc. But give credit where it's due, Al Horford was contesting these isolation plays remarkably well despite the disadvantage. Instead of conceding to unfavorable cross matches in early offense, Louisiana's game plan was methodical: peel switch out of those Horford on Vanderbilt matchups. Meanwhile, Joe Mazzulla's strategy for the Celtics was clear: let the Lakers shoot tough, contested mid-range jumpers, single coverage on the ball, even against LeBron mismatches with calculated backside help when necessary. But when LeBron faced Derek White, the size differential became immediately apparent. James, blocked initially by White, simply gathered the ball back and scored on his second effort. This wasn't just a momentary advantage, it was a potential series-defining mismatch. On the other end, Boston's wings were hunting Reeves in the post. Tatum's quick spin and finish highlighted this targeted approach. J.J. Redick seemed content allowing these two-point opportunities rather than surrendering wide-open catch-and-shoot threes to the team that ranked first in three-point frequency. The strategy backfired spectacularly when the Lakers' small lineup couldn't secure defensive rebounds. Those offensive boards for Boston led to precisely the shots LA was desperate to prevent. Horford keeps it alive. White finds Tatum with plenty of room. That one goes down. Overzealous help defense created chaos. First Gabe Vincent, then Luka, both leaving shooters wide open. Brown and others made them pay from the corner. JJ's face told the whole story: pure disgust. No timeout called and the same mistakes continued on the court. Can you guard in space all night? Tatum finds the corner. Derek White with that quick release. Both teams now 8 for 13 from three-point range. After Luka's turnover, JJ had finally seen enough. Timeout. With officials letting them play physical, the Celtics' momentum built. An errant pass stolen by Horford led to an easy Brown layup. Then Tatum started doing what Tatum does, confidently draining a long three to tie the game 33-33 after the first quarter. You'd think the Lakers would enter the second quarter with adjustments to track shooters better. They didn't. Meanwhile, Boston's defense continued chopping wood and carrying water, every screen triggering an automatic switch, suffocating LA's driving lanes and forcing them into late clock situations. Shot clock winding down. Horford with good defense. Reeves just gets it off in time. 24-second violation. JJ's frustration was unmistakable. You didn't need to be a lip reader to understand his exasperation. When Michael Porter Jr. went under screens, Reeves made him pay. Whether Reeves scored or missed, Drew continued applying relentless ball pressure. Tatum exploited mismatches against Goodwin, leaning into a beautiful high-arcing jumper for his 15th point. The Lakers played through chaos, turning broken plays into buckets. LeBron, with Austin Reeves on his back, grabbed an offensive board and set up a three-point play. When Luka checked back in, something was visibly wrong. Luka's back on the floor and his gait looks a bit off, hands on the bottom of his but Boston showed zero sympathy, continuing to dictate terms at the rim. Vanderbilt battled masterfully for boards amongst the trees, and his efforts were rewarded with a corner three. With the ball humming, Louisiana's offense kept pace with Boston's. After LeBron cooked Harden with his own special recipe, trying to draw the foul, and he does. Harden's been really good at that his entire career, gets a little of his own medicine. Luka went back to the kitchen and served the same dish to Jaylen Brown. This wasn't just basketball, it was an all-out war, a possession-by-possession survival battle. 1 second Derek White was the victim, the next he was the avenger. Horford wasn't left behind, reminding LeBron that experience cuts both ways. Brown responded to LeBron's bank shot with a statement of his own: "You and your entire clan can eat this." James answered with an elbow jumper, then a fadeaway. Boston's three-point barrage created separation to end the half. When Tatum saw Luka defending him, he knew exactly what time it was, draining a three for his 20th point of the half. To put his stamp on the period, he punched in a signature finish, driving and flushing home a thunderous dunk to send the Celtics into the locker room up 4. Luka changed his shoes during halftime, but unfortunately the third quarter was an absolute disaster for LA. Tatum obliterated Luka at the point of attack, finishing with a beautiful left hand. Notice how Drew occupied Dorian to minimize his ability to deter Tatum at the rim. Brown's digs kept disrupting the Lakers' offensive sets, and it became obvious that JJ had instructed his team to run shooters off the three-point line, evidenced by increased aggression on shot contests. The Lakers were giving up twos instead of threes, the original game plan. Tatum continued hunting Luka, and the best Doncic could do was foul. Remember that Lakers peel switch from the first quarter? Well, Horford had adjusted since he knew what the coverage would be. The Celtics' defense suffocated Luka, and Horford, a 38-year-old, remarkably stayed attached to one of the best shot creators in NBA history. The Celtics' roster is unfair, their defensive pressure was elite, picking LA's best ball handlers' pockets. Even when Boston didn't get steals, they were trying to destroy the Lakers' will to live. That's what makes Celtics runs different. It's not enough just to beat you. They want to crush your very essence, your soul. LA went 0 for 10 halfway through the third quarter before Luka's step-through became their first basket of the period, an absolutely absurd stretch of defense by the Celtics. JJ was incensed, trying to generate something on offense by clearing out for a Luka ISO on White. Goodwin added energy to reverse his team's negative momentum, and with just under 2 minutes left in the period, LeBron scored the only other third-quarter Laker points by someone other than Luka. The Celtics finished the third up 20. If you had turned off your TV at this point, you would have missed something special. Knowing they had a mountain to climb, the Lakers came out swinging to start the fourth. Reeves was relocating brilliantly for three-point opportunities, hitting a sidestep three that showed great concentration despite Jason Tatum's defensive effort. Elbows were flying in Boston, Massachusetts. James took a shot to the face as Tatum blew by him, and in retaliation, LeBron took the Celtics' defense to the low-block classroom, teaching a masterclass in size and strength, finding room in the paint to chip away at the lead. Momentum was shifting as the Lakers trimmed the deficit to 15. Boston did respond, Pritchard's beautiful alley-oop to Luke Kornet, but they kept getting in their own way with offensive fouls and turnovers. The Celtics' miscues were gifts, and with the Lakers' laser lineup on the floor, they weren't hesitating to unwrap them. Luka lit the fuse, Reeves kept it rolling, then LeBron turned up the heat, going right at Brown with head fakes before spinning for a left-handed bank shot. And before you knew it, the lead had evaporated to 6. It was at this point we learned that Luka's back was bothering him during that Celtics third-quarter run. He might have been limping, but his game wasn't spinning, turning and scoring for his 25th point. Despite Jaylen Brown's best defensive efforts, Doncic drained a high-arcing three. There is nothing Jaylen Brown could have done any better. Look at the arc on that shot. That was tough. Battered, bruised but unfazed, Wonderboy was grinning ear to ear after slashing the lead to 4. The comeback was real, the momentum was theirs, until it wasn't. Luka gave Brown just an inch too much space, and that was all he needed. Big bucket right there. He decides, okay, Luka's giving me a cushion. There's almost a prideful nature to that shot. JJ wasn't waiting around. Timeout. Then came the gut punch. LeBron was done for the night. The Lakers don't have the luxury of missing their stars, and right now that's something they just can't afford. Momentum gone, the Celtics smelled blood in the water, and finished the job, ending the Lakers' 8-game cruise and handing them a 10-point L. If you enjoyed this breakdown of how the Celtics' defense showed they're simply on another level, hit that like button and subscribe for more NBA analysis that goes beyond the box score.